So, this will be a compilation of all that I saw in the area of Yugoslavia, you know, where Yugoslavia was, the history, what I learnt, at least what I found fascinating, along with some sites that I explored of remnants of Yugoslavia. So I'm currently standing at a peak of a mountain overlooking the largest canyon in Europe, in the youngest country in Europe, Kosovo. Kosovo got its independence from Serbia in 2008. I won't delve into that in regards to Yugoslavia, but I just thought it was a beautiful backdrop. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it, but I can hear the water actually rushing. But beautiful autumn colours, beautiful backdrop, so I just thought a good place to start. So, try and leave that a bit open. If you get bored of what I'm saying, you can just look at that. But overview. So basically, where I got my dose of history, rather than just exploring, was at the Yugoslavian Museum in Belgrade, which I tend to be quite picky with where I, decide to spend my money at certain museums around where I'm traveling. But I just thought I'd go there to check it out because I knew zero about Yugoslavia and its history. And absolutely fascinating museum. So I checked that out for history, and then I explored Genex Tower, or Western City Gate, which is an abandoned skyscraper in Belgrade, Serbia, the capital. One side's office building, and then the other side is residential. Residential was still inhabited, the office side was no longer. It's a big, brutalist, communist era design. So it was really cool to explore through there. And see the remnants of what was around. So that was beautiful. And then I also made my way to Bosnia, into the capital of Sarajevo, and I explored where they held the Sarajevo Olympics under the Yugoslavian, when it was still Yugoslavia. So Yugoslavia hosted the Olympics in 1984, and there's an abandoned bobsled track up the top of a mountain above Sarajevo, so it was great to explore that. While I was going to see that, I ran into some old destroyed sort of buildings that still had bullet holes through them from when the Bosnian War occurred, which was after the Yugoslavian empire collapsed and it went back into its countries. So it was interesting how recent some of the history was with Yugoslavia. So, background on Yugoslavia, don't know enough about it. If you want to research it yourself, do so. But basically, formed after World War I in 1918, the Kingdom of Yugoslavia, and it was led under a king until the early 30s, basically into World War II. There was an assassination of the king, King Alexander, which was crazy because although it was an assassination, yada yada, his clothes with his blood still on them was in this museum, which was just wild. So they had them in there, which you could look at, still with, you know, his blood on them. But basically, Yugoslavia led into World War II, got stitched up a few times by the Nazis, and basically it collapsed post World War II. So after that, a little while, a bloke called Josip Tito came in, and he was a marshal or like a higher up general or something. And he worked to reunify Yugoslavia, which was successful. And he's a bit of a fascinating character because he was liked by both the Allies and the Axis. So post World War II, Josip Tito brought Yugoslavia back together, reunified it, and was supported by both the West and also the communists as well. So he created a socialist/communist regime, but it was historic because he basically said F off to Stalin and that he's going to run his own separate way of communism in Yugoslavia without following the USSR's rules, which was quite historic. So that made him be liked by the Allies. Since Josip Tito was liked by people, he got all these random gifts which were in this Yugoslavian museum over the years, and I was so like intrigued about so many of them. Like, there was obviously some from USSR. There was like a vase that was beautifully crafted and things like that. But he also had the key to the city for LA that was given to him in the 60s or the 70s, which I just thought was so random. He had that for Cairo. He had a bunch of Southeast Asian, like Burma, as well as, you know, India, but also he had African countries sending him gifts, and gifts from all over the world. Basically every country you can imagine, except for a few, for certain reasons I do not know. But yeah, he managed to be able to balance the love from both sides, which is something not many people have done. And you could see it most in your face in his funeral, which to this day is one of the largest state funerals in the world. With there was a map of it, of basically every country that had an official at his funeral. It just shows like how much of a populist he was. The other thing that I loved about the museum was I had never really seen in the flesh documents and things from the early communist era, their writings, things like that. There was a first edition Communist Manifesto that was recent, from 1871 from memory, so early days, and it was translated into Serbian, so it could be passed through, you know, the working class in Serbia, and basically that was what started the communist movement in Yugoslavia. Beautiful posters, you know, / propaganda. Promoting, you know, the working class, the beautiful artworks of their flag with the star, and along with other things, like when they had some issues with the Nazis, there was posters they were putting out of, you know, Nazis basically killing their own citizens, and just these artworks that were fascinating to look at. There was weaponry there. Basically, he was loved. He was a loved dictator, and he unified Yugoslavia. Shit everywhere. Shit everywhere. But this is called the Western Gate, Western City Gate, which is also known as Genex Tower. One of the main brutalist designs, or one of the most famous brutalist designs in Serbia. A timestamp of the Yugoslavian communist era, of that communist brutalist style of architecture. Now, there's an office side and a residential side. The residential side is still inhabited by people. The office side is not. And I might try and get into the office side to explore the abandoned office building. Now into the office side. I'm just going to check out some stuff. It's pretty partially destroyed in here already. The old elevator could go up one level. Up one level should be okay. Let's find out. More stuff, more shit. This is wild. Empty. Empty. It's eerie. Sakes. Always the same. We're fine. Yeah. 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 Oh, power boards. Interesting. Showers, I guess. I wonder why they have showers. Strange. I've seen this before. Someone could tell me what that is. Digitron. Cool. Okay, just wanted to check that wasn't in triple speed, which it just was then. I'm not going to go back in there because I just did, but my video had like quadruple speed on, so I was dancing around like a Mickey Mouse animation. But just to confirm my suspicions that there were 2 security guards in that entry of the building, I decided to actually check that after I'd climbed through the window, because if I asked first, they might have had suspicion that I'll find some other way in. But yes, so there's 2 security guards down the bottom there talking smack, keeping people like myself out. But that window got me in there, so that was nice. Yeah, that was a bit of fun. I could have kept going up and up and up, but for one, I just felt like the higher I went, the more potential risk of being found out, and I don't speak very good Serbian, as you might know. Adventure done. Lots of fun. So, next part of our series on the remnants of Yugoslavia. Currently in Bosnia. I'm in the capital, Sarajevo. And in Sarajevo, 1984, I believe, they hosted the Winter Olympics. So there's a few remnants of abandoned Yugoslavian Olympic facilities. One of them is up there in the foggy, eerie, misty mountainside above Sarajevo. Sarajevo is in sort of a valley surrounded by mountains. Yeah, but also what I wanted to say was I started from Sarajevo town, where my hostel was. These dudes are cheating. This is a cheat. If you're getting the gondola, or the cable car, sorry, you're cheating. So that's it. It's just got a hell of a lot mistier. I could see over there, but now I cannot. So interesting, very eerie. But I'll check out, hopefully it's not too foggy when I get to the bobsled track, which is what I'm heading to. But it's nice, no one around. Nice little walk, got a new little trim up, a pair of scissors and some grit, fix myself up. Yeah. So, before I head up to the bobsled track, I've just come across, I don't know if you time it really, but it's still very eerie and misty, but there's some abandoned buildings to check out. So this is the first one we've come across. Very cool. Jungly. I really, I mean, I don't know if this is true, but they definitely look like holes from some sort of something. So I don't know whether that's true or not, but the Bosnian War was fought around here, so cool. Look at that wall. Tell me what you think when you see that. Anyway, bit of street art, bit of building art. Don't fall through there. A little bit on the sketchy side. It's a nice little view. Some sheep down there. Hey sheepy. Bit more damage. Ooh, a little fire. Cool up there, but not needed. final one is coming up now. It's very eerie, bit of sunlight coming through. Yeah. Well, that's us done. Onwards to... So I've arrived at the bobsled track, at least a portion of it. Alright, cool. There's a place I can hop in. So this is it here. It's obviously quite long, but cool. Okay. Yes. So this is it. There's some cool stuff around here. Just below us is another there's another sort of abandoned concrete shell that was something. Don't know anymore. But lots of cool stuff to explore. Lots. Some pretty cool straight up as well, not just the old tagging, my initials sort of deal, but some proper skilled artists. Yeah, stunning. Well done to whoever did this stuff. It's cool. So we're going to just walk up it for a little while to back to wandering. So over there is the other destroyed stuff, but currently walking where there was an Olympics. Very cool. Another GoPro's ran out of battery, so phone's gonna have to do. But another wonderful abandoned in the middle of the forest, about 1600 meters above. Okay, so Bosnian War happened. There was a siege on Sarajevo, capital of Bosnia, for something like 1400 days total. And in the foothills, well, foothills, more like the mountains around Sarajevo, there is some remnants of this war, which, you know, I've shown already. Another one that's popped up spontaneously is this. So, looks like a little fort. Don't know what it's for. I guess there was a potential bridge across this. If you're afraid of heights, check this out. Okay. That'll be some serious roly-poly. I think we gave it a run. Beautiful though. Autumn colours in amongst pine trees. was silly. That was silly. So, I'm changing the end credits to solvitur ambulando, which is Latin. Latin because, you know, I'm an intellectual academic with loads of history under my belt. It's Latin and it means